Welcome to this review of sport in and around Oxford over the last weekend of January 2026 with Colin Ryde and Patrick Lott. Now, it wasn't a good weekend for both the yellow and blue sides of the city. While I was watching Oxford United lose 2-0 at home to Birmingham City, you, Patrick, were down watching Oxford City get very hard done by in a 3-1 defeat, young man, with a disallowed goal that should never have been disallowed.
A bit of a crazy game, really. It was City found themselves 1-0 down after just 12 seconds. So one of the fastest goals you'll see in football all season. We thought at the time it was City going 1-0 down without even touching the ball, but it was a slight touch from the defender, so we'll give them that. But after 12 seconds, it was looking like a very difficult game, and it may be a long afternoon. And it took City about maybe 20 minutes to get into the game, and then suddenly a spout of set pieces got City back in the game. The first of those, Josh Ashby drove into the box. South Shields couldn't clear it, and George Burrows scored. And just a couple of minutes later, Burrows nearly got a second through almost exactly the same thing, where South Shields failed to defend a free kick that well. But this time, Burrows' shot had a vital deflection from a defender onto the post. So just about kept the minutes. City played well, really well. It's probably one of the best performances of the season. Only went behind due to a really good strike from South Shields forward, I have to say. Kind of on the turn and just found the corner perfectly, keeper with no chance. But as you say, it was a really controversial moment. An amazing run from O'Shea Ellis, who ran the entire length of the pitch. He crossed it. A South Shields defender played it on to Jack Bean, who, was technically in an offside position. The flag went up, but because it came off a South Shields defender, it should really have stood. And despite the referee having a really good view of it, I have to say, watching the replay, they still decided to keep the flag up. So 5 minutes to play, and you'd have probably backed City to hold on for a point there. But a few minutes later, while they were still trying to find that equaliser, South Shields broke and scored a third goal. So, really, really harsh defeat for Ross Jenkins' men, who would have thoroughly deserved the point, I'd say, if they got one.
Well, I think we can hear from Andy Gate talking to Ross Jenkins after the game, and they do talk about the disallowed goal and also the good performance, as well as the fans staying with Oxford City, even though they are back in the relegation. Here is part of the interview with Ross Jenkins after that defeat.
I thought the boys were at it. I thought the shape was really good. I thought we frustrated them. They've got some really top players. We had to be aware of that, and we worked ever so hard in the week to make sure the boys are switched on and understand their roles. And I thought the boys were absolutely brilliant. But, the first goal obviously deflates you slightly. I think it might have been 8 seconds. So we've got to do better with that. But then we showed great character to get away back into the game and get that equaliser. We've hit the post, and we could have actually gone in the lead. But for me, there's only one talking point at the moment. And that was the goal that got disallowed, because it's a real game-changing moment. And we worked ever so hard, as I said. And I think we deserved that. But another poor decision against us goes the other way. And game opens up again. So, really deflated in that sort of part of the game. But in terms of the players themselves, I thought they ran through walls today.
I think that's what's so hard-hitting about that decision. Not all the time we get we don't get the replay straight away, but we have, and you have seen it back. We've seen it back, and we're talking about the scores 2-1. I think it's the 86th, 87th minute, right towards the end. We're pushing. Jack Bean scores. Flag goes up offside. He's way onside, and I'm not asking you to get yourself in trouble here with anything, but it is so disappointing, isn't it? Especially when probably deserves something out of the game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we've everyone said it was onside. Lino said it was offside. We've asked for them to clarify why and the rules around it. Now, we're quite knowledgeable with the rule book at the moment. We're always looking inside of it.
I was going to say, we're quite knowledgeable about the rule book because all these decisions keep going against us.
Yeah, so we've read it. It's like a nice nighttime read at times to read through it. But we've gone through every point that they've made, and it's all irrelevant. The bottom line is our players onside, their players made a deliberate action to intercept, slide tackle, clear it, whatever you want to call it. deliberate action. But the bottom line is Jack Byrne's onside. O'Shea's ran the length of the pitch, squared it across. Their players knocked it onto our player who's onside, and he taps it in the goal. Perfectly good goal. For me, yeah, you can throw every rule book at it and every statement or every line from the rule book. We've just picked it apart. It's irrelevant. The square pass, players onside. If you don't make the deliberate action, Callum gets the shot. So he makes the deliberate action to stop that ball go through to Callum. It goes on to Bernie. That's tough luck. We should score. We do score. It should count. But frustration again, because at 2-2, we have a new lease of life and we go again. But then the game opens up, they get belief, and then they go and score on a counter, and 3-1, it sort of kills you. But we've had many of these decisions. It's not just one game. We've asked for clarity. We try and get that. Well, it's not very clear. So got to go again. So, boys put in a massive shift, really deflated with the end result. I don't think it was a 3-1 game. I don't think Johnny's done too much or had to do too much. I thought we defended really well. We frustrated them. But, what top teams do is they keep going and they go and get that third and it kills the game. So, big respect for them today. The way they praised our boys. It's easy after a win, 100%. But, the boys need to keep going.
Yeah, they are a top team as well. And I think that second goal for them absolutely sums it up, because some goals, I think a lot of the goals that the opposition scored this season, we've kind of, ripped apart from top to bottom, and it's always a fault. But it was a terrific strike. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a mistake in there somewhere.
Yeah, there was a mistake. The mistake is we didn't address the ball. He's going to wind one up and we need to get out and close it down. But you can't take anything away from his strike. I'd be proud if one of our boys did that. So great strike, but again, preventable. So we need to look at that. I'm not saying it's a great strike, can't do nothing about it. There's moments we can, but we can definitely get to the ball and address it and get the block. Giving a bit too much space to a really good player, and he punishes you. But the other goal, the last goal, we're sort of going for it a little bit, get hit on the counter. I think we need to do better, maybe make the foul so it doesn't skip past us. But it's just that second equaliser, really. So if that goes in, it's a different game. Our fans were brilliant, by the way. You could really hear them when we scored that goal and we got the second goal got disallowed. It was a real good atmosphere. So big credit to the fans as well today.
Yeah, I think when they scored, I think we clocked it at 12 seconds. There were probably a few eyes around the National League North that probably went, oh, here we go. And it wasn't like that, was it? The first 10 minutes, I think they probably were the better team, but soon after, we really came back into the game. And against a team like South Shields that keep the ball so well, that's really tough to do. So when George Burrows got the equaliser, he must have been thrilled.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great start at all. We probably had one worse start than that. That was last season. We had a man sent off in 8 seconds. Kingsland away. That's probably one of the worst starts we've had. And that got overturned. But for me, a few basics in there to go and head the ball properly and make sure we don't give anything silly away. But just caught cold. And I think that's probably the only thing we can say, really. I thought our boys were really good today. So result didn't go for us. We didn't get the 3 points. A point would have been pretty good. But we need decisions to go the right way at times, and today it went the wrong way.
So there we are. It's Ross Jenkins, an extract from that interview with Andy Gate after that defeat. And he said that the fans stuck with City there in spite of that rough decision there. Is that still the mood beyond the goal at the shed end with your fellows that have been there through thick and thin, Patrick?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We always knew it was going to be a tough season, and we probably knew that we were going to be probably fighting the dotted line, really. So, we always try and get behind our team. And I have to say, we actually had a good following from our university lot of people. We had a few people that are kind of exiled away that came up on Saturday. So we gave it a good go for 45 minutes in the first half, especially to make a bit of noise. So, and the thing is, as Ross was saying, that City played really well. On another day, if we put that performance in against nearly any other team in the division, we'd have probably won. So that's all you can ask for, really, is that the team put in a good performance. And we go down there every week, not expecting to win every week. We know we're going to lose some games. So you just like to see some effort put in a good performance. And we were beaten by a very good team who are top of the division. So, you just have to, go with it sometimes.
You do indeed, yeah. Okay, all right. So meanwhile, we should, again, congratulate the Banbury United ground staff for getting a home game on again. Saturday, especially because the Puritans beat Barwell 1-0, Patrick. So another good result for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about getting a run of games together, don't we? And Banbury are in terrific form at the moment, and they made it 3 successive wins on Tuesday night with their first home game for some time. So, I imagine that they're really trying hard to make sure the game was on Saturday so they can continue that form. It was a tightly fought game. They hosted Barwell. Finished 1-0. The winner came a couple of minutes from the end. It was a corner that found its way to Josh Flanagan in the centre. He turned home to record second home winners in many matches, as I say. So, 4 successive wins and 5 unbeaten now for Kelvin Langley's side. So, really terrific run of form, which now sees them just 4 points off the playoff positions as well. Although it's fairly congested up there, so they're in 9th place, 4 places below as well. So, looking like a really positive end to the season for Banbury, and who knows, they may be able to get themselves a playoff place come at the end of April.
Indeed, and we can hear Dave Egland talking to Kelvin Lamid after that game.
Better late than never, wasn't it? A little bit like the other night, to be fair. I felt like we dominated the game. We played some really good stuff. We just maybe lacked a little bit of cutting edge again. But, set pieces are a massive part of the game, and they've won us the last 2. So I'm delighted with that. I'm delighted with the clean sheet. I saw loads of stuff I'm really, really happy with. And look, we've got a decent bit of momentum at the moment. It's not one I want us to get carried away with, but it's one I want us to enjoy and continue to build on. I'm at 4 in a row. I'm absolutely delighted with that.
You mentioned you don't want to get carried away with it. It was a hard-fought victory, though, wasn't it? And while it was always at 0-0, you've always got that element that something can go against you. And Barwell had that big chance with the keeper, didn't they? One-on-one with the keeper when it was 0-0.
Yeah, thankfully we got a little bit of luck there. Got away with one, really. So, that's all right. But yeah, look, it's difficult because those games become harder the longer it goes on when you're not taking your chances, because eventually it does bite you. And I said that to him at half-time. For all the good stuff that we're doing, all the nice play, all the keeping the ball, we're nice and attacking, we're nice and positive. I was really pleased with how the lads were at the back as well. They put a right shift in today. I'm delighted with the clean sheet. You've got to take the chances when they come, and I did. I said to them at half-time, like, there's some fantastic balls going into the box. I went old school, old Neil Warnock. You got to dive for 3 points type stuff. You've got to throw. You've got to mean it. You've got to go and want to head the ball and put it in the back of the net. And Flanners did that for us today, so I'm absolutely delighted.
You mentioned the clean sheets that you're getting as well. They are giving you a platform, aren't they, to build from?
Oh, hugely. And we've had more and more of them. And I think, I was looking back the other day over kind of the last 10, 15 games, and our defensive record is really, really good. And at the moment, we're getting the points to come along with it. So, look, we're in a really good spot. I want everyone to enjoy that, absolutely, because we've had some difficult patches throughout this season as well. But there's also, you've got to temper that a little bit. Let's not get carried away. I still want the same kind of mentality. I don't want us to change that hard work, workman-like performances. Everyone leaves everything out there, and that can't stop. But I don't want for one moment lads to turn up to a game thinking that, we're doing okay, we'll just turn up and win this game, because football doesn't work like that. And I back these boys not to do that, to be fair. They're such a good group. I've said all along how much I enjoy working with them. That all of them, every single one of them they're a good person as well as good footballers, and it's a joy at the moment when things are going well.
How pleasing is it as well? You mentioned the clean sheets, but there seems to be a real durability about the side to go to the final minute of every game now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I said the other night, didn't I? They're a young back four, really. I think the average age of them is 22. And all the games that they're playing, the relationships that they're building with each other over the last sort of 10, 15 games, it makes you stronger as an individual. It makes you stronger as a unit. Luke Stocker, I have to give a mention to him. He spent a bit of time out of the team. He's come back in and he's been fantastic these last 3 games. Pross, we spoke about the other night. Cree's the same. Cree's was excellent again today. Just picks up good areas, picks up loose balls, and that helps the back four as well. But defensively, as a back four, their understanding of kind of what each other are is getting stronger and stronger, and it bodes so well for the team.
And your centre halves are coming up with winning goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I always, I'm going to bore you a little bit. I always just set myself 5 goals a season. I think if your centre halves can bring you that, that's a decent return. And Josh is probably up and around that now. Nico was off the mark the other week. Skip's got probably on 4 or 5 already. Even before he was out. So it's an important part of it. If they can chuck goals in tight games from set pieces, it gives you a chance.
And again, you were only able to name 4 on the bench this afternoon. How is the squad looking? I know you said that you've got longer term injuries that are looking like they're going to be coming back at some stage. But how are things progressing at the moment?
Yeah, good. So, like I said on Tuesday, Pete, the skip, and Stice are all back doing bits. They're all out there before the game, part of the warm-up, which is great. We'll look to get some of those minutes on Tuesday night as well, and then hopefully they'll be back in contention for next weekend. So, again, we're in a really good place, and we can, with those boys coming back in, we're only going to get stronger as well.
And it's an interesting week for you because you've got a cup game to be a little bit of a distraction. I don't think it is a distraction because you'll want to keep that winning momentum going, won't you, against Kidlington?
Yeah, absolutely. Every game we go into, we want to win. We're going to make changes naturally. We've had 3 games in a week. It's tough out there on that pitch. I imagine I believe there's more rain to come, so it'll probably be a little bit heavier come Tuesday as well. It's also an opportunity to give lads who haven't played too much football some minutes. And again, some of the young boys, some from the dev team, the young lads that are in and around us will get some minutes as well. So it's a good game for us off the back of where we are as a group. It allows a little bit of rest for some, it allows some to get minutes, and it allows some of the younger boys to kind of show us what they can do.
So that was Kelvin Langmead chatting after the game for another 1-0 win, which puts them in fine stead. OK, next up then, Didcot Town put another point on the board at the weekend in a 1-1 draw away at Lark Hill, Patrick.
Yes, and I've been making a thing of the last few weeks of saying about how all Didcot's games seem to be ending in home wins at the moment. That was a run of 7 games, and it came to an end on their travels. Well, it looked like Larkhall were going to take the win at home, but 3 minutes before the end, a fine cross found Tiger Hall unmarked in the centre, and he headed home very confidently, as you say, to earn Jamie Heapy's side that point. We normally got a video interview with Jamie Heapy and Daz King, but no video interview this week, but there is some comments from him on the social media channels. Jamie Heapy said, "I thought we were excellent, especially in the second half. I was really pleased with the way we controlled the game after the break. We probed, applied pressure and pushed for the equaliser, which eventually came through a well-worked goal finished by Tiger. If the game had gone on another 10 minutes, I genuinely think we would have gone on to win it. Credit to Lark, although they defended their goal very well. It was an excellent all-round team performance on a surface we struggled on in the past. To come away to a side who had won 5 of their previous 6 games with a thoroughly deserved point and feel frustrated we didn't take all 3 tells me a lot about this group." So, really good points for Didcot Town there. So, they'll be looking to finish the season strongly too.
Yeah, I think you're right. And good luck to Jamie Heapy for the rest of the season. OK, so Tammy also got a similar outcome, a 1-1 draw, but at home this time round against Barton Rovers, Patrick. So they continue to do well, put more points on the board, Patrick.
Yeah, and Barton Rovers are another team who are up in the playoff race with them. So probably a really good point against a team who are in that similar position. We seem to be talking about Tame wins every week before this weekend, though, and as I say, they did get a 1-1 draw. Barton took the lead on 61 minutes, but it was less than 10 minutes later that the scores were level. Mark Riddick scored the goal to earn Tame a point there. They're still very much in a very strong position for the playoffs. They're 3 points adrift of Hertford Town, who are 2 places above them, with a game in hand still. So, you'd probably say that Tame are favourite for that playoff position at the moment, but still a fair bit of the season to go. Still.
Yeah, they say you don't win anything in January, February, do you, Patrick? But so there you
Absolutely
go.
not. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we go to step 5 and the Combined Counties League, and yet again, no game for Ardley due to an unplayable pitch. That means they've slipped down to 6th, but they've got 6 games in hand now over the top 2 teams, Burnham and Wallingford and Cromarsh, Patrick. But, I mean, I think they'd rather have points on the board, wouldn't they, and play games?
I'd say so, yeah. To think you got that many games in hand, it's going to be a lot of football coming up in a very short space of time come the end of the season. But at the same time, you've got 6 games in hand and you get on a winning streak, then it's one of those where you may quite like to have a lot of football in a short space of time if you're winning week in, week out. But it shows how ridiculous the fixture congestion is in that league, that they're 6 points adrift of first place and are down in 6th place. So, Yeah, I mean, certainly not out of the playoff race yet, and even the title race. But yeah, it's going to be tough, I think, for Ardley now.
It is indeed. Okay, so thankfully there were quite a few other games on the weekend. I think North League were the only ones that I can find that was cancelled. So take us through the rest of the results in steps 5 and 6, please, Patrick.
Yeah, and the other team who are very much in the playoff fight, Wallingford and Crowmarsh, they got a much-needed 2-0 win against Hilltop. It was 2 second-half goals, and Harry Cruz scored within a 10-minute period to get a win that saw them go back second in the league. So, yeah, very good win for Wallingford and Crowmarsh there, and probably doing a bit of an injustice with talking about Ardley United a lot, but Wallingford and Crowmarsh certainly up there and got title hopes of their own. Kidlington also earned a win. They beat Virginia Water 1-0 at Yarnton Road. Roger James scored the only goal of the game just on the hour to see them up to 7th place. And they're just 2 points off the playoff spots now themselves. So, yeah, a lot of Oxfordshire interest at the top of the table now. Milton United, they didn't have a game either. Their game was called off. Abingdon United, though, were the only other side in action, with Northleaf's game off as well, as you say, Colin. But Abingdon beat Edgware and Kingsbury 3-0 at the North Court. Freddie Dunham scored twice, with Leo Cole getting the other goal there. Obviously, we've got a lot of teams in that division. Just recap the table quickly. So as I say, Wallingford and Crowmarsh rose to second, while Ardley are out of the playoffs as it stands on 6th place after their game was postponed. And perhaps slightly more importantly, Windsor and Eton won one of their remaining games in hand to go above Ardley United. So Windsor and Eton probably in pole position for the title now. A little bit further down, Kidlington just a place behind Ardley now in 7th place. Milton United in 9th, Abingdon 14th, and Northleigh are in 18th currently there. No game for Easington Sports either. Their game against Hinckley AFC was postponed in United County South.
And meanwhile, Wantage Town got a 2-2 draw, Patrick. So ever since I've been out there, they've stopped winning games. But they lost when I went to see them the week before last. They drew 2-2 this particular week as well. So it's no, they're still in a good promotion position. Wantage Town 2, Ludlow 2 was the result there, but FC Stratford had beaten them the week before last. They are still top of the table. It's Bewdley Town second, then Wantage Town remain third. So still a good few games to go in this season, Patrick, and there's promotion pushes still there. Again, we hope to interview their chairman for another programme in a couple of weeks' time. So, okay, so Oxford City, though, they are slipped, I think, back in the relegation zone, Patrick, but we've got games to play midweek as well. Saturday, Tuesday continues. Looking at Division 1 Central, Tame United are up to 7th, so they're doing really well. And let's see, where Didcot Town 13th, I think, so there they are in the table. And, a lot of games to play in this season so far. Any games on Sunday for the ladies' teams?
Yeah, so just one. Oxford United and Abingdon United both had a weekend off. Oxford City were the only side in action. They welcomed Reading Community Trust to Court Place Farm in the Southern Region Women's Football League Premier. Sadly, a day to forget for Leon Theohoris' side. They fell to a 4-1 defeat. Although captain Billy Bow French did score a stunning free kick as a consolation in there, but otherwise it's a big defeat for them there. So, yeah, sad. So we've obviously spoken to Leon a few times, haven't we? And yeah, really great guy to talk to. So obviously hoping that him and his side can pick up some form towards the end of the season.
Okay, so we've got more bad weather coming in. I mean, it looks the weather forecast at the moment absolutely atrocious, I think so, with the threat of snow, I think, now, as well as torrential rain yet again. But weather permitting, what have local football fans got to look forward to this coming weekend, Patrick, in your normal fixture focus, sir?
Yeah, Oxford United, they're on the road. They head to stuttering tabletoppers Coventry City in the EFL Championship. Wow. Obviously they had a big lead, didn't they, a few months ago, but it's now been completely wiped out by Middlesbrough. So maybe potential of getting a result there. And it's a 3:01 kickoff at the Ricoh Arena. I did do some research as to why it's that, and it's because of the Every Minute Matters campaign,
Okay.
which is to do with CPR. So
Right.
1 minute late kickoff there. Oxford City, I mean, it's probably, whatever I say is an understatement here, but it's an absolute must-win game for them on Saturday. They head an hour up the M40 to bottom of the league, Leamington. As you said a minute ago, Colin, City dropped back in the relegation zone as Peterborough Sports have found a couple of wins. So against bottom of the league, it feels like City simply have to win that.
Yeah, but you know
to try
what it's
and
like.
pick up the points.
Bottom of the league,
Absolutely, yeah.
scrapping, and we've seen it so many times before where Oxford United and Oxford City both tend to play better football performances against better sides. So a side that's down the bottom, going to be very cagey, and they're going to have to really go for it, almost as though they're playing a top of the table side. I think need 4 teams worse than Oxford City at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So Leamington Spa could be one of those. Okay, what else is going on?
Yeah, so Banbury United, after a couple of home games, they travelled to Halesowen Town in Southern Premier Central. Southern League Premier Central. There we go. Get my league names out.
Thank you.
So they're looking to make it 5 wins in a row, which would be a terrific run of form for them. Tame United, they're on their travels as well. They head to London Lions in Division 1 Central. Didcot Town, they're at home in Division 1 South. They welcome Shaftesbury to the Luke Meadow Stadium. And that is a 1 p.m. kickoff up there. So an early if anyone fancies a bizarre double header, you may be able to get a 1 p.m. kickoff there and then try and find some other game in the county. So a day later on Sunday, Oxford United women, they travel to Watford in Women's National League South. Abingdon United, they're on their travels as well. They head to Marine Academy Plymouth in Division 1 South West. So that's a long trip for them. And finally, Oxford City, they host Woodley United in the Southern Region Women's Football League Premier. So,
thanks a lot, Patrick Lock. And I take it you won't be going away with Oxford City, will you, this weekend?
Will be. It'll be a rare away game this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only an hour up the M40. It'd be bad if I didn't do it, I think. So, probably our closest away game this year.
Okay, well, let's hope that your attendance at an away game, a rare away game this season, does bring them good luck. So for the time being, though, Patrick Lock, thanks a lot. Well, that's it for this week's Ox Sports Unleashed podcast review of Oxfordshire's football with Colin Ryde and Patrick Lock. If you'd like your club to feature on this podcast or on our YouTube show that live streams every Thursday at 8 o'clock, then drop us a line at oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed, all one word, @gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening, and bye for now.